Hello and welcome to the new season of the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show with me, Ian Pelham Turner.
And with me, Helena Chard.
Well, we've got really exciting new prospects for the show. Let's roll the titles and let's get on. Well, as always, we start off with the royal news that's developing, and Helena has really got her finger on the pulse again. Welcome, Helena, back to the studio.
Absolutely, so thrilled to be back, Ian. Isn't it great? New season, all very exciting. And the royals are out at play. They've recently, the royal family have been having fun hanging out in Scotland, in Balmoral. King Charles and Camilla at Castle May, their beloved house that they absolutely adore. But it's been a fun time with everyone relaxing because it's been holiday time, Prince and Princess of Wales. This dates back to 1952 when Queen Victoria spent time, 1852, not 1952. What am I talking about? Goodness me. So yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. And as we know, it was the late Queen Elizabeth's favourite place. And public tours will resume on the 1st of October. I think one of the biggest things that came, because obviously it's quiet time, isn't it, is the Princess of Wales all of a sudden was donning this very light do, and the whole world went completely bonkers. She was spotted going to church. And of course the Highland Games, the Bramer Games, that King Charles and Queen Camilla attended. And King in his full tartan, I think he wears his tartan perfectly.
But
absolutely.
Wasn't Camilla slightly questioned about what she wore? And I don't understand why. There was some colour issues or something that Queen Camilla caused some controversy amongst the Scottish newspapers.
Oh goodness, I need to look that one up. But all I know is that King Charles looked rather dashing, as he always does, and really lovely at the Bramer Games. I was pleased to see because it didn't get much coverage. As we know, the Duchess of Kent, the late Duchess of Kent, passed 92, and this was on the 4th of September, and there was a minute's silence actually at the Bramer Games. And just wanted to say a few words, really remembering Catherine, her name is Catherine, the late Duchess of Kent, and she is one of the oldest members, as I said. And why wasn't there much coverage on TV?
Precisely.
Absolutely unbelievable, and it really goes to show, it's almost like, you know, as the royals get older, they sort of disappear and then they're forgotten about. And she did so much good work.
I as soon as I knew the news, and we both knew the news very early on in the morning, and I'm assuming now that watching all the terrestrial TV channels, it's going to be at least a major segment of their morning and news breaks.
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. So Helen and I are very pleased to talk about the Duchess of Kent.
I mean, she was so glamorous as well. 1961, she was married the Duke of Kent, Queen's cousin, and I think that the fun thing, I mean, she did a huge amount of work on behalf of our late Queen, and she really was a empathic, kind, loving, I mean, a wonderful person, and that hasn't been shared. I want some lovely documentaries to come out about her. But the fun thing about her as well is that she asked the late Queen Elizabeth if she could stand down as a working royal, and she was given permission to teach as a music teacher. She was known just as a basic name, and she taught in Hull for 13 years.
Yeah.
Because she wanted everyone to have, you know, equal opportunities.
Yeah.
So the children she taught maybe didn't have an awful lot.
I think she was known as Miss Kent.
Yeah, she was known as Mrs. Kent, and no one knew who she was. How amazing is that? I mean, you know, she really wanted to bridge the division. And obviously we remember her presenting trophies at Wimbledon and hugging, do you remember, lots of crying tennis players. She was always very animated and very cosy. Yeah, really lovely. So yes, we want to know more. We don't want her to fade into the background.
Absolutely.
And her funeral is on the 16th of September. So then that's going to be covered. And also the fact that she converted to Catholicism, which I find very hard to say.
But I think as well, it leaves us with a very, because it's leading into your next story as well about Harry and what's happening at the moment as well. Now, will Harry attend the funeral? Because obviously I would imagine that William and Kate and Charles and Camilla will all attend the funeral anyway. Will Harry attend the funeral? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, people have been saying, is he going to stay? I mean, that's going to be quite a long time for him to stay in the UK, I would say.
He might start ringing on more doors.
The option, yeah, exactly. I did say to Fox, actually, you know, will that be their first meeting at the funeral? I don't think so. I think he'll probably leave a wreath or something.
I don't know.
But, but they are saying he's very homesick, and
I mean, looking at the newsreels that are coming out about him, how he donated £1 million to children in need from his fund, and he's smiling all the way. And when you look at the crowds greeting him as well, this couldn't have been a better PR thing, could it be, for Harry?
Well, he's on best behaviour. He knows. He's trying to, come on, he's not just turned, it's all been planned. He's spoken to all the media, all the right media that are promoting him well, and, you know, he's doing what he's great at. He's very good with children. So, you know, we are seeing the best side of him, and we have heard that he's terribly homesick, and who knows? But really, I mean, you know, Prince Harry was over for work, let's not forget that. So, and it just so happens that it fell on the late Queen Elizabeth's 3 years anniversary. So obviously the brothers, the battling brothers are paying their respects, but it was, you know, they were 8 miles away from each other, it seemed. So the Prince and Princess of Wales were in Sunningdale at a WI, the Women's Institute.
I mean, that was a very important event for them too.
No, I think, no, absolutely it was an important event. It was the late Queen Elizabeth's favourite place. Okay. It was very close to her heart. So they went and they met people that knew her, and they talked all WI things, okay. And it was a great special opportunity, I would say. And we found out that Prince William loves brownies, and he's a complete connoisseur, just like you are, Mr. Turner. But he doesn't like them with nuts in.
Well,
so
God
there we are.
Bless him. That's all I can say.
So they were there, and Prince Harry, he popped in. It was supposed to be a private little do to St George's Chapel to show his respect. That's at Windsor Castle, to lay a wreath. He was photographed though, even though it was a private thing.
Absolutely.
But you know, it's one of those things.
But what is going on about Kate's hair? This has confused me,
Well,
because one minute it's gone blonde, then the next minute I'm hearing it's been changed again.
It's called styling, Mr. Turner. Yes, you can have light bits. I have light bits in my hair, but sometimes it can be incredibly dark. Just depends. So, you know, if you put it up, if you do an up style, it will look darker. But I know that was sad. I mean, she got a huge amount of trolling just for changing her hair colour. I mean, what is the world like? Completely. But anyway, going back to Prince Harry, he travelled over for the World Child Awards. He, you know, he always does so well, as we said, with children. And he was speaking, the funny thing, he was speaking about the challenging relationship between siblings. Now, I think that could possibly have been a little bit of a dig. But so this was a glittering awards ceremony, recognising the efforts of younger people with challenges and them thriving. These are seriously ill children. I have to say, the one thing I would say is I always find it strange, really, in a situation like that there's one person that's chosen to win. Because surely all of these people are winners, and some of them are quite young, and it sort of seems a bit of a strange situation. But all, you know, obviously, you know, the World Child is, you know, it's a beacon of hope, basically, and inspiration. Absolutely. So a fantastic affair. So I mean, he's been doing incredibly well. There has been all this, you know, why are they not coming together? What's going on? You know, people have been having a go at William, people have been having a go at Prince Harry. I mean, what I would say is, you know, there are small footsteps, there are small steps going forward, but it's this trust thing, and this is what things come down to. Because if you remember in 2022, am I right with my things? When Prince William told Harry and Meghan, it was a bit of an awkward situation, but he made that walking out in Windsor when the late Queen had died, and it was an awkward situation, but he wanted to show unity between the brothers, between the white, so they walked out, and that was William's, push. Now, Harry just needs to keep a sock in it, is my thoughts, and there has to be a little bit of trust between them in order to move things forward. You can sort of see what's going on. It's a madness, but hopefully they will be able to put things aside, because we need unity. We absolutely need unity.
Absolutely right. I quite agree.
And moving on, books. The whole world at the moment is so many people, literary agents, everybody bringing out books on the royal family. It's driving myself and Ian mad, because there's so many stories racing around. But one thing, I think Paul Burrell's book, The Royal Insider, My Life with the Queen, the King and Princess Diana, there were some stories in there that I hadn't quite realised that the Queen developed bone marrow cancer, myeloma, I think it is. And when they told her, she just sort of said, "Oh, that's a shame." That's what she said. She was stoic right to the end. And she asked her doctors whether they could keep her alive literally until her platinum jubilee, which they did. But she did have to give up her alcohol. But it was one of those sad things that I just thought, oh gosh, because we were there. Do you remember reporting on that?
I mean, another book that's come out, Grant Harold, the former Charles's butler. So I mean,
but you know
they're coming out of the woodwork at the moment. But it's a very interesting book, and give Grant his due. I mean,
think so.
He's changed his image. He's now doing a lot of work, good work in etiquette and so forth.
Yes.
So. But it seems like everybody's bringing out, perhaps we should bring out a book.
Well, we could do, couldn't we? I mean, I have to say, when it's interesting and it's not too salacious, I mean, like the Andrew Lowney book entitled, the Prince Andrew book, there's so much in it. And I think people are overwhelmed by it, but it just creates this feeling. And I also think it's very easy, isn't it, when people have passed, to say whatever you want to.
Well,
and that's the sad thing. It's somebody's word against another.
Yeah. Recently, I was talking to a crown prince of a very important Middle Eastern royal family, and who knows Andrew. And he said that the public image of Andrew and who he really is like is two totally different things. So I think there is a story to be told, but in time, no doubt, I still feel the royal family will try and find some way of bringing Andrew back into the fold. But if you look at Sarah Ferguson and how they brought Sarah Ferguson in after 20 years, who knows what might be happening?
I think, unfortunately, we're going to see more things coming out.
Yeah.
Because it involves Epstein, and the obvious. That's the bit that really people can't stomach. But fingers crossed, let's see what happens. Now, every platform is talking to us at the moment about state visits, and obviously, we know that Trump is on his way shortly, and we've been talking about, what makes a good state visit, and I think Trump will be with us on the 17th. No doubt there is a huge amount of planning going on, and security, goodness me, I just can't imagine. And we know that obviously the visit is the day after the House of Commons breaks up for annual party conference season. And so it's an interesting one, because, obviously all the bells and whistles probably will be put on, but will there be a big ceremony?
Well,
I don't know. I think there's lots of...
It's history in the making, first of all, because there's never been a president before who's been given 2 state visits.
Well, I think they have, but not American.
Not as far as I know, to Americans, as you say.
Yeah.
And I think, that the reality at the moment is, if this is a way of coercing President Trump, and bearing in mind we're seeing a lot in America anyway with USA Global TV and Radio with the help of Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, as we're seeing in America right now, it's important that to build business relationships, build bonhomie between the two countries again. And so in that way, I see him as really the president of the country rather than as President Trump personality. And so as such, I think it's important that the country, America, feels respected in Britain.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's the ultimate diplomatic tool, as we know. And that's the whole idea about these state visits. I mean, people are made to feel incredibly special. You've got the Guard of Honour inspecting the troops. You've got the humour, the
Don't
history.
talk about that again.
I know, the humour, the history, the whole gifts. There's so much that goes on. And obviously, I mean, the state banquet with the longest single table
Yes.
that there is that's put together is huge. And I hadn't realised that at one point it was 5 courses, and I think it was the late Queen Elizabeth that made it 3 courses in the end, just to make these dinners a lot shorter, which is fun. But it's going to be exciting, and I am interested just to see how the royal family is,
Yep.
how King Charles is, how Prince William is.
Yep.
I think it will go with a bang.
Yep.
So there we are. We'll wait for POTUS to fly in helicopter. This time we'll be flying into Windsor, so I don't think there'll be any burning grass anywhere, which I think was previous. So there we go.
Absolutely. And so we're just going to do a little bit of political news now, part of a new feature that we're looking at creating. And every Wednesday when we actually shoot this show, there's Prime Minister's question time in the House of Commons. And obviously today there's been a lot of anxiety, first of all, because could we be seeing the start of World War III? That is a big question that's going on at the moment, because overnight Prime Minister Starmer has condemned Putin for attacking Poland and Ukraine overnight. Now, the relevance to all of this is that Poland is a NATO country. And so when one NATO country is attacked, all NATO countries come in to defend that country. So could we be seeing issues right now that may be causing the NATO countries to think, are we going to start seeing World War III or not? And that is a major issue. And this is one of the things that Starmer addressed today, condemning totally what Putin has done. He also condemned totally Israel bombing Qatar last night, trying to get rid of some of the people at the moment who are causing him problems and the country problems as well. Now, Qatar is a favourite country of Britain, and we have a good status with them. And Starmer was on the phone to the Emir soon after this bombing had happened. So again, we're looking at all the issues that are happening right now. And finally, probably the most contentious issue today is that President Isaac Herzog, who is the Israeli president, arrives in London as well. And Starmer was being questioned quite severely on how is he going to treat the president of Israel. Is he actually going to tell him the truth? Is he going to sort of say to him, all this has got to stop? So that's the question marks over what's been sort of going on as well. So we will take a short break, and then we'll come back, and then we will start showing you some of our new features. Stay tuned. Welcome back. And now we're going to introduce a new section to the show. The idea is that we think about all the countries across the world that we work with now and different communities that we are seeing across the world. Now, talking about the world, I was very fortunate enough to meet Miss World, the new Miss World 2025 recently, and we filmed several segments of her thoughts about how she wants to use her year in reign to actually increase the values of women across the world. Great. Now she has this tongue-twisting Thai name, so I'm going to try to pronounce it now. It's Suchata. That was the easy part. then it's Xuang Sri, I think is how you pronounce her surname. So let's see what she thinks on women empowerment.
Women empowerment for me, I think not only me but all of us in this room has witnessed a lot of empowerment, and I think many of you here yourself has empowered a lot of women, especially young girls in your life. And women empowerment to me is uplifting, giving the opportunity to women to stand up for themselves, for their family, to be strong in foundation of their life, enough that they have the chance and the possibility to make their own decisions of the things they want to do in life. Basically, to be given the chance to showcase their skills, their knowledge, their power, and to be able to achieve anything they want to do in life beyond what gender or society has created in boundaries for them. And I think it's still very important today to have women empowerment across the world, because even though nowadays in this world we're stepping towards gender equality, more opportunities in life for women, whether it's workplace, whether it's in society, but at the same time, I still think that it's very important to set up a mindset and a strong foundation for our younger generations to be confident in themselves, to know that they are capable of so many things in life, so that if they have a strong foundation, they can achieve anything in life, and at the same time also pass it on to their younger generations as well.
Thank you, Noble. This is such an inspiring word.
Welcome back. Well, two of our colleagues, Diane Felix and Claudia Machado, what have they been up to whilst we've been on break? Well, basically, we were filming recently in Leicester Square, and then we get stopped by a restaurateur who wanted these two attractive ladies inside their restaurant to actually talk about the food. So the restaurant is Asidor, which is the only South American restaurant in Chinatown. Yes, you heard it first. The only South American restaurant in Chinatown. So this is the restaurant owner introducing Diane and Claudia to the delights of their food. Let's watch this.
Hello, we are in Asado restaurant, which is located in Leicester Square. So we mainly do Argentinian steaks, authentic Argentinian food. As you can see on the table, we have Argentinian barbecue chicken, which is glazed with chimichurri sauce and served with mashed potato on the side. This one is lamb shank, very soft, delicate meat, which is served with mashed potato as well. Beef tostados, seared salmon with sweet vegetable puree. We have a nice cut of Dallas steak, which looks very delicious. We have cheesecake, which is made in-house. So basically we do all food ourselves. That's it.
Can I ask a question? What is the inspiration for all this food?
Well, because the owner likes steaks, like meat, and so in Leicester Square, so basically as you can see, we are located in the Chinatown, so a lot of Chinese dishes, Chinese cuisine, and we have come up with the idea that we need to open a steak place here as well, because we see a lot of people, tourists, Chinese people, they like steaks.
Perfect. To recommend your place and for all the people who is watching out there, 3 words for defining your restaurant.
Delicious, not expensive, and good memories.
Perfect. Diane, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I'm enjoying your restaurant and the restaurant place, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, thank you for coming.
And now we have the wonderful Rosalind Singh. This is the most outstanding young lady who comes from Nepal and has a background in Nepal with her parents, Sangrita Shrestha, a great friend of ours as well. And basically, Rosalind is a very dedicated and talented artist, and recently went to exhibitions to show off her work. So this is really her talking a little bit about her work, and also she's a student at the moment in a university in Kent. Let's watch this.
Good afternoon, my name is Rosalind Singh and I'm a biomedical engineering student, but I'm also an artist. Recently I had an exhibition at a Nepalese cultural talent show, and here are some videos that I shot at the exhibition. As you can see from the videos, I had a stall where I got to showcase some of my artworks. At this cultural event there was a mix of art, culture and dance. And if you're interested in contacting me to talk about my art or even buying it, then you can contact me on Instagram, and my Instagram is Rosalind's Art.
And now finally, a very important person, Dr. Abdul Basit Saeed, who is part of the World Humanitarian Drive, is creating his latest meeting for business leaders, for politicians, for leaders in this world to come together in London for a major conference. And we will be talking more about this over a period of time. But here's Dr. Saeed talking about the first principles of why he started this and when the event is going to happen.
Hi, this is Dr. Abdul Basit Saeed. I'm the founder and chair of World Humanitarian Drive, shortly called as WHD. We are an international organization in operations in 12 countries. Currently, we have ECOSAC special consultative status with United Nations, which is one of the highest status granted by United Nations to help them with various missions. So we are organizing an event on the 28th and 29th of October. The event is called Trilateral Global Summit. We have done this previously 3 times, and this is the 4th edition of the event, which is on October the 28th and 29th of October. We are expecting dignitaries, diplomats, politicians, policy makers, bankers, CEOs of different financial corporations, and frankly speaking, anybody who is important who will be here in the summit to speak about trade for peace. The idea is to help the developing and the underdeveloped countries from the developing countries, and to create a trade synergy. So we believe trade as an objective can create a lasting peace in this world. So the 2-day summit, the first day will be at the Royal Society of Arts, and the second day will be at Universal Peace Federation, which is our partnership organization, at the 43 Lancaster Gate, and in the evening in the House of Lords in Palace of Westminster. It's a fantastic event for people to join and promote their vision on how a lasting world with peace can be sustained through their minds and through their visions.
Welcome back. Now we have one of our great regular friends on the show who has done incredible work as well in the past few months. And we were leading up to the events that Dr. Honey Calaria was doing recently, that we've been involved in as well. And I always have to read my notes because it's such a long title. So it's the International Children Peace Network, who staged their own peace assembly recently. Welcome.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Helena and Ian. Thank you so much. Again, it's a pleasure to be here again.
Oh, and a simplified version is ICPN, isn't it?
Absolutely, just say an
what you should
ICPN.
remember.
Well,
Yeah.
how did you think it went?
Well, I was actually very pleased. It was a very successful event, especially because it was our pilot study. It was our first initiative, and we felt that this will be a great way to find out, how the public is going to be accepting this particular project, how the youth will enjoy, and how the volunteers and team members will come together. And every single area was amazing. Of course, there's always ways to improve, because that's the game in life. You have to continuously improve things. But what we did end up staging as a team in a united front, it was amazing. I just wanted to say a very big thank you to Nelly Stefanova as well, who's my co-founder of the International Children's Peace Network, because she also worked very hard, extremely hard with this whole project. And the youth, that was the most important part. It was all about leadership training for young people, holistic leadership training. And what we mean by the holistic side is the 4 focus areas that we always focus on, which is peace, education, more about character development education. A third area is more about the creativity, how to develop your creativity. And the last part is the environment, how to get connected to our world, to appreciate nature, to protect our resources, etc., and to become a little bit more, I would say, environmentally literate. So this is the 4 areas that we focused on, and every child that came along absolutely loved it. The whole week was full of different activities. And I also wanted to say a very big thank you to our own Ian Pelham Turner, who also joined us as one of the judges for the talent show. So we're very grateful for that as well. All the young people who took part were absolutely fascinating. They were amazing. They were very talented. And I know Ian had a tough time, finding those winners. And we also ended up having a multicultural fashion show. Can you imagine that, at the talent show? And we had models from Morocco, Venezuela, Pakistan, India. It was just Jamaica. It was just really a beautiful multicultural event where everybody worked together. There is a lot of work that still needs to be done, because we had about 67 participants that ended up enjoying this whole week. Our aim was to get around 100 to 120. So for next time round, that's the kind of numbers we'll be working with, so that we can help to give quality training to each child, but at the same time, there's enough variety for children to also bond, with new cultures. It was great. On the first day, when we ended up, all the children came together, especially the young people, I noticed they were all like sitting separately, one in this corner, one in that corner, just looking at each other. And then by the time they left, they were like hugging each other, saying bye-bye. They were sitting together, sharing their numbers. And it was so wonderful to see. There was groups, for example, from Ecuador. We had kids from Ecuador, somebody from Trinidad, somebody from Bulgaria, the other one from India, the others from here, London. So there were children from different cultural backgrounds who just worked together. Nobody looked at color, nobody looked at culture, nobody looked at anything except humanitarian values during that week. And the whole week of activities that we had were just absolutely amazing. Such a variety. It was like each event was on an event on its own. So the amount of practicing and planning and putting it together, it takes a long time. But each one was success, success, success. I was really happy. For example, one of the days we went off to London and we visited the Natural History Museum. Every event was designed for a particular reason, and that was to help the children bond on the first day. And every child, they had so much fun looking at the dinosaurs. I gave them some little puzzles and some quizzes, some competitions, and they got really into the challenge. They really enjoyed working together as teams, came back with all the answers. So it was really fun. So we have such beautiful places in London, like the Natural History Museum, like the Victoria and Albert Museum. So many things to see, so many things to learn. Why not utilize what we have in our London to help young children grow and transform? And then the next day we went off to the Leeds Castle. That was amazing. And a lot of people thought we were going and traveling to Leeds, but actually it was to Kent. And that was an amazing day. Everybody loved it, especially there was a maze and they were having fun. We had a falcon and eagle kind of a display, like birds of prey display. And then we had also the nature, boating, crazy golf, things that young people enjoy. And they also enjoy the train ride. There's a little train ride at the Leeds Castle. They enjoyed that. Again, the castle was there, so there was a bit of history, teaching people about our culture, teaching people about history of Britain, why that castle was there, what kind of story was connected to it, etc. So again, it gives an insight to young people to not just have fun, but are educated along the way. And we kept an eye to see who are the team, like team players, who are the leaders, who are the quiet ones that we need to kind of help to grow a little bit more. So it wasn't just about let's go and enjoy a day out. As mentors, we were all like watching and observing the children to see how best to develop them along the week. And then of course we came in, we did workshops like CPR training, how to save lives. It's amazing because I saw 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds learning how to save lives. And I think these are the kind of things that you don't really get a chance to learn when you're young, because we're probably too busy learning maths and English in school. But this kind of things I think helps to open up young children's perspective of life. So I think, which is really great. And then we had also media training with Ian himself, and he was absolutely amazing. And those children, the kind of interviews they gave, I was actually really touched by one of the interviews because Ian asked such a deep question with one of the Spanish-speaking children, saying, how was it like working with honey? And he actually explained, in Spanish what he thought, and then he translated it in English. And when I heard that, I thought, wow, is this how the young people feel? All this hard work and effort is so well worth it just to hear how much they appreciate and how much difference it made in their life. So I was very pleased to hear that. So Ian, the superstar when it comes to interviews, made sure that I was also motivated by the time I finished that day. And along the way, we also had time to go and watch, let's say, Andrew Lloyd Webber's Starlight Express. The aim was to help young children develop their creativity to see what's possible. Because a lot of these children haven't seen roller skate dancing and, they haven't even been to a musical, some of them. So for me, taking them to the Andrew Lloyd Webber's Starlight Express was a really great trip. And they keep talking about it even today, because they were absolutely amazed at how the skaters performed. Not even one fell down. They were performing. They were doing all sorts of tricks and I would say gymnastics whilst they were in their roller skates. So it was just a very beautiful thing. Yeah.
Honestly, honey, congratulations. That's all I can say, because you really got this together in a really short timeline. So I don't know how, you're super duper. I don't think you sleep. And to have so many happy children, have you got video footage? I couldn't, unfortunately. I wanted to support, and it was my birthday period, so it was one of those things.
Happy birthday! You were 21 again, Helena.
Yes, I was, of course. So it was just lovely to hear feedback and just hear how well it went. Do you have video footage of parts of the event? Because I look forward to seeing that in due course.
Absolutely, Helena. We did it especially for you.
I think we may be running some of those when we do it.
And the children actually, the young people highlighting how the course went and giving their feedback.
Yes, I think we've got some really lovely photographs of the behind the scenes, just some photos and things that will give you an idea about the range of activities they got involved in. For example, one of the days was at the House of Lords, and it was a peace debates day. And we had Baroness Udine coming along, hosting the event for us. And we had all these wonderful children from different cultural backgrounds who literally stood up and debated about how the world can become more peaceful in the future and what peace meant to them. Because although we may say as adults that we need to have peace in this way or this way, children have social media, they have various other areas that we don't consider as an area that people can use to share messages of peace, for example, or spoil things as well. They can literally use digital online platforms to do bad things as well. So these are some of the topics that young people find very interesting, which we wouldn't have mostly talked about.
Why do you think there's a need for this type of movement in the first place, and what motivated you to actually start doing this?
Thank you. A very good question, Ian. Actually, I believe, because I believe in a kind of a religion of humanity. Because my aim in life is, how do we become better human beings? I'm not saying I'm a perfect person, because I'm also constantly working on, it's like work in progress. But I also believe that if you can support others to become better human beings, better humanitarians in the world, it will literally reduce so much of the chaos and disharmony that we have in this world. Especially if the youth who grow up in the future to become the adults and the leaders of the communities, the business communities, the politicians, the people running governments, let's say, these are the same young people who will grow up one day to be somebody in the community. If they are very well equipped with the right mindset, right principles, right values, I think this can make a lot of difference in how the world can be shaped in the future. It's a huge task, I know, but they say Rome was never built in a day, and we also have to take a step at a time and do whatever each one of us can do. I remember one day somebody was mentioning to me that, oh, how can we make a difference in the world? It's just too much, there's too much going on. And I said to them, well, even if you wrote one letter, you've done your part. Instead of complaining, we can at least take that one step forward to make a difference. So this is what I feel we're doing. We're just taking a step forward, helping young people. And I'm sure, I believe, that when a good movement is there, when there is selfless service, when there is a good intention for the world, I think the energies start working themselves, and the right people start getting drawn to you, the right opportunities start opening up. Like, for example, here today, we've had a beautiful journey over the past few months where you have continuously, both of you, Helena and Ian, have continuously supported the work that we've been trying to put together. And this is the kind of support that we've been attracting from many different corners of the world, and I hope that this continues, and that the recipients and the beneficiaries of this are the young people, because we are just doing the actual work. It's them who are the ones who will be benefiting from all of this. So I think collectively it's our duty to help the youth of tomorrow, to turn them into future leaders.
Also, I mean, more than ever, I mean, you could have started this a few years ago, but I think now is the time where young people really need this confidence boost and to feel like they're growing in character. It's more important. I think it's an overspill from COVID. Just with my friends' children, it's absolutely amazing. So well done to you, and it's so needed.
Thank you. I think the youth nowadays have a different kind of a world to grow up in than we did. So we have to be very, tuned in to what the youth require at this moment in time and where the world is going. There's all this AI going on and digital things and people on the mobiles all day, and so many different things are happening that we didn't have to go through. I remember when I was growing up, we were playing in the streets, and we always had, our neighbors were our friends. So nowadays, you don't even see people know each other at all. You're living next door to someone and you don't even know them. So the whole world is changing. So I think it's very important for us to help our young people to build emotional IQ, social IQ, intelligence IQ, all the different areas, wisdom IQ, I say sometimes, common sense IQ, all these areas that we need to help our young people with. They can only do it if you have the right mentors, and you have to care enough to be able to do this, otherwise we would just leave this world in a chaotic manner. I also believe this is a great way to leave a legacy, because all this time, all your skills, strengths, things that you may have in life, all your experiences that you've endured in your lifetime, there's so many lessons we would have learned, each one of us. this is a great way to help young people, pass on good tips and success tips to young people, so they don't have to make same mistakes, and they can kind of catapult themselves forward to the success lines and finishing lines much quicker than what we had to go through.
Excellent. And finally, because time has caught up with us as always, what is the future, and how can people get in contact with you if they wish to commit to the project?
Oh, thank you so much. Yes. Well, of course, if people wanted to find out more about our organization and the projects and the events that we have lined up, you can visit www.icpeacenetwork.org. And you'll find out a lot more about all the things we're doing, some various interesting blogs about the topics that we tend to work on. But in terms of future planning and future events, we are hoping to go and arrange various events. One of them being that we may hold another residential that may be in Europe. So we're looking to perhaps stage that in Bulgaria. But as the London, UK one was so successful, we may continue now to arrange maybe an annual event here in London, UK, where we can work with local community groups and organizations to help to maybe announce each year's assembly projects, but at the same time utilize our foundation here in UK, Britain, as the peace initiative country who has helped to launch this project.
Excellent. And I think it's fair to say that I know we were both at the London Rotary Club this week, and they supported you as well.
Absolutely. Because I've been a part of the London Rotary Club of London for quite a few years now, and as I mentioned previously in my previous interviews, I'm also a district liaison for the Rotary Club of London, and I'm also a district chair for the Environment Committee for the whole of the London district. So I get a chance to work with many clubs and various members, Rotarians, and we find that most of them are all very community and charitable people. So even on this particular program, you may find that you will get some amazing stories of what these Rotarians do and the kind of projects they get involved in. And Rotary was one of the organizations that came on board to support the International Children's Peace Assembly. And a very big thank you goes to our president, Anahita Harris, from Rotary Club of London, who actually sponsored 2 Ecuadorian children to come and enjoy this 1-week program. And oh my God, the transformation they went through, and they're still sending messages of thanks to me right now to say this, they really enjoyed. So thanks to the actual club, that they took interest in the initiative, and they also trusted and wanted to get involved. I think in the future, Rotary would be getting involved in a much bigger way.
Excellent.
Amazing, yes.
Honey,
Gosh,
thank you so much for your time.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. It's always a joy to have you in the studio with us. So we look forward to the next time too.
Oh, thank you, Helen. And Ian, I just wanted to also congratulate both of you. Ian, thank you for joining us at the talent show, being a judge there at the International Children's Peace Assembly. And thank you also, I know we missed you at the Gala Awards evening, but for the next one, we would love to have both of you there to present some awards, because it was a fantastic evening with top dignitaries, high-profile people, mayors, etc. And you would be absolutely amazing, like a cherry on the top of the cake.
Thank you so much. We look forward to it.
Okay, thank you. So that's the end of another show for us today.
First show back. How great.
First show back. It's
been good.
It's
We've
good.
missed it, haven't we?
We've missed it.
Yeah.
We've missed it. We've had 6 weeks off and we've missed this whole thing. But I think the reality is that the content that we're putting in now is increasingly of value. You know, we're getting some great people coming in as well to talk about their projects. And for us, I think it's very important to talk about the Royal News, to talk about things. I had
so much going on.
Yeah, I mean, I just think right now, you know, this is a time for the Royally Rich Good News show and Royally Rich Lifestyle show all to come together. All the goodness of and
it
richness
is. It's all coming together.
And lifestyles come together to actually create values for London, for Britain, to the world.
Absolutely.
So for me, Ian Pelham Turner.
And from me, Helena Chard.
Have a great week. I hope you enjoy the show, and we will see you again next week. And we've got some more incredible guests. Stay tuned.